My dad watches Stuart Varney every morning when he's getting ready to go to work on Fox Business, and he was covering this story here. This is from the Washington Post, or as a certain somebody on talk radio likes to say, the Washington Compost. Opinion: why giving roses on Valentine's Day, or any day, is a really bad idea. Now, I will agree, on principle, it is a waste of money, and certainly as a MGTOW, I see no purpose to it, other than it's a cash grab for all these, big corporations. But anyway, this is by Amanda Schindruck. Okay. Illustrations by Michelle Kondrich. Yeah, sounds like two people who shouldn't get no roses for Valentine's Day. Here's an unromantic question for Valentine's Day. Can we live without roses? Yes, they are the most popular cut flower around the world, and that's no wonder. The blooms are stunning. Roses are all right. I've seen prettier flowers. Just my opinion. I've seen better smelling flowers. Just my opinion. But the daily, nonstop global race to get just cut roses from greenhouses to your front door makes them punishing on the environment, which means it's time to think differently. Is it? Oh, isn't that cute? We got a little animation thing following us here. Isn't that cute? 80% of the flowers sold in the U.S. are imported, mostly from Colombia or Ecuador. A rose takes up to 15 weeks to grow, but as soon as it is cut, a precisely coordinated race begins. To keep them fresh, the flowers are chilled in a dormant state and then moved to airports in refrigerated trucks. At the airport, they're loaded on a plane bound for Miami. Oh, isn't that cute? During the weeks prior to February 14, more than 30 flights will move flowers from Colombia to Miami every day. It's a lot of damn roses being moved. About 4 hours later, the roses land in Miami. They are moved into chilled warehouses and inspected by U.S. Customs. For what? They're roses. Wait, they can have like aphids on them? What are you inspecting them for? They're then loaded onto refrigerated trucks for delivery across the United States. When the roses arrive in stores, as little as 48 hours have passed since they were picked. I wonder what Polska Bob thinks of this story. Isn't he a florist? Isn't he a delivery driver for a florist? I wonder if he's seen this story. This fast-moving game of tripping over my tongue here. This fast-moving game of romantic commerce never stops. It's also absurd. I'll agree with you on that. It is absurd. Valentine's Day as a whole is absurd. How is it a day that's supposed to celebrate, I think it's like 3 saints that were martyred, and it's turned into a corporate be a blue-pilled simp and show how much you care for these chicks that aren't worth caring about. Let's see. The race required to provide a mass-produced bit of nature at any hour in any place for as little as $10 a dozen. I didn't realize it was that cheap. Contributes significantly to the destruction of nature itself. Oh no, what will we do? The roses are destroying the environment. Oh my God. Is this the War of the Roses 2.0? Airliners filled with flowers zip around the globe every day. Chrysanthemums from Colombia dash to Japan. Roses from Kenya end up in Britain. Carnations from Ecuador jet to Russia. Nearly all imported cut flowers go through the same emissions-intensive journey: climate-controlled greenhouses, refrigerated trucks, and a long, chilled flight. Fresh flowers are a $34 billion global industry with massive carbon footprint. Okay, all you simps, all you suckers, all you blue pillars, That's somebody's making all this money off of you guys. You guys are suckers. Compared with other perishables we transport around the world, flowers are perhaps the most damaging to the climate. The reason? Nearly everything else moves by ship, which has 1% of the carbon footprint of air freight. Blah, blah, blah. 2020 analysis of products sold in British grocery stores by climate expert. Are you really a climate expert? I don't know. This is a religion that you guys have, so I don't know if I'm going to call you an expert. You know, might call you like a bishop. I might call you a deacon or something, but you're not exactly an expert in what is your religion. So, you know, this is your guys' religion. This is y'all's religion here. This is not, you know. Anyway, found that a bouquet of imported flowers has a more significant impact than an 8-ounce steak raised on deforested land in Brazil and consumed in London. Well, there you go. There's the steaks. They've been saying steaks are no good, but they're saying roses are worse. Okay. Well, give me a steak then. I'd rather have a steak than a freaking rose. How about that? I mean, I like roses, okay. They smell nice, but I think I'd rather have a steak. Think I'd rather have a steak. They got a little diagram here. 9 pounds of, let's see, 2 pounds of rice, 2.2 pounds of rice, 9 pounds of carbon. They're claiming bouquet of Dutch roses and lilies and Kenyan Gypsophilia. Okay. 71 CO2. Okay, whatever. I'm sorry. How exactly do you measure CO2 in pounds? It's gas. It doesn't weigh anything. I exhale. I breathe out. It's not, it's coming out of my mouth and it's going into the air. It has no weight. How are you measuring it in pounds? Something that has no weight because it's a gas. How are you measuring it in pounds? Make it make sense. Steak, 8 ounces. They're claiming 39 pounds, blah, blah, blah. 6 bananas, 1.5 pounds. 8 pounds for CO2 for half a pound of strawberry from South Africa. Okay. Like I said, I'm not sure how you measure pounds of a gas. I don't know. That does not make sense to me. That's a mind fuck to me. How does that work? How do you measure pounds of a gas? And I need a little bit more sparkling water. For those who adore flowers, like my mom, this might come as a shock. Okay, well, your mom's probably not into this climate thing like you are, so okay. Your mom probably is normal somewhat. She expressed concern when I told her about the supply chain. I see the harm, she said, but they're so beautiful. Yep, she's a normie. Yep, this gal's mom is a normie. Yep, for sure. I feel it too. Flowers play both real and symbolic roles in our lives. Aw, isn't that cute? They express emotion in a way few things can. Sympathy, love, regret, reverence, or just a simple gesture of care. Yeah, okay. We don't need to give that up. Well, okay. What do you mean we don't need to give that up? Isn't that what you just said? Isn't that what your whole article has been? Saying how bad they are and it's destroying the planet, but we don't need to give that up? Huh? There's plenty the industry can do to reduce its climate impact. Greenhouses should be warmed by renewable energy, which should get easier as countries diversify their energy sources. Well, okay, we still are not set up for electric cars and stuff and all that stuff. So, but now you want to make greenhouses do this stuff for the status, to appease your religion, basically. This is particularly important in the Netherlands, world's largest exporter of cut flowers. In that country, cloudy northern climate, Highly automated and energy-intensive greenhouses are the norm, the majority of which are powered by fossil fuels. You know, I've always wondered about that, how the Dutch ended up with so many flowers. I've heard about all the tulips and stuff that they were obsessed with back in the day, but I don't know. It's kind of weird, especially some of the stuff they grow isn't really suited for their area. Anyway, I think we've read probably about enough here. Sector needs to move away from air freight. Some companies are already experimenting with shipping flowers by sea. Well, there you go. I mean, I don't see why that wouldn't work. I mean, you could put a refrigerated container on a ship and ship it. I don't see what the problem is. What's the difference between that and a truck? I mean, when they land, they got to be in a refrigerated truck anyway. So what's the difference between that and putting it in the refrigerated shipping container and then putting it on the ship? There you go. Carefully controlling the atmosphere in the containers. It's possible for cut stems to remain dormant for weeks. There you go. It's better. There you go. It's better than air travel. There you go. Problem solved. Problem solved. There you go. Most Western governments have yet to require individual industries to reduce their reliance on air freight, but if lawmakers start issuing those orders, the cut flower industry should be among the first to be regulated. So there it is. There it is right there. There's a problem. Let's have the government fix it. Yep, definitely a woman wrote this article. That's for sure. Consumers can help to avoid roses, carnations, and chrysanthemums, the three species that make up the vast majority of imported flowers. The environmental impact, blah, 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 plummets when bouquet. The environmental impact of a bouquet plummets when the flowers are grown locally and in season. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Hardy with a long vase life, the big three species are perfect for cheap mass production and quick delivery around the world. Their success is a globally produced export means American growers can't compete. Instead, farmers in the United States primarily cultivate specialty flowers like sunflowers, dahlias, zinnias, and snapdragons. Didn't realize snapdragons were big in cut flowers. That's interesting. Sunflowers, they really that special? I mean, I grow them all the time. I mean, it's like, it's a sunflower. I don't know. They're more delicate and don't travel well over long distances. Well, I guess that's true. So, buy these flowers, blah, 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 less common names. Grown chiefly in California. Yeah, that makes sense. That's true. Small farms also cultivate them across the country, but it's significantly less likely they'll arrive via air. Sunflower, snapdragon, peony, zinnia, dahlia. Don't know how to say that. That Lisa Anthus, Cosmos, Sweet William, Ranunculus. Ranunculus? Kind of nice to look at, but cool. All right, I think we're done with that story. No, let's see here. Where are we? There it is. What else? Nobody's watching. Okay, I won't drop the link then. If I get doing this regularly, if people start watching this, the plan is I'm going to try and do this kind of more regularly on a Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Let's taco about it. And the idea would be to be dropping the link and having people call in and stuff. But I don't think we'll do that today. I don't see. Wonder if I can get rid of this StreamYard comment. StreamYard comment's the only one that's up here. Wonder if there's a way to yeet that off of there permanently.